Top 10 secrets Meghan Markle exposed about Prince Harry. Starting off at number 10, not involved in Spare. Royal insiders told Heat magazine that Meghan is left with regrets and wishes she was more hands-on or involved in the process of the tell-all book. Meghan can now see that whether it's fair or not, they are being viewed as these professional whiners, and it's not as simple as her distancing herself because she has to be seen as fully supportive of Harry, they said. She's now regretting that she wasn't more hands-on or involved when he was putting his book together, they added. This theory that she micromanaged what he wrote or had any say in the manuscript is totally wrong. It was Harry's book and she let him get on with it. The same went for his interviews and promo tours. That was evidenced by the fact she let him do those by himself and made a point not to interfere. Harry's long-awaited memoir was all about what people wanted to see behind the cameras, from growing up as a royal to the fallout from leaving with Meghan. It was dubbed the fastest-selling nonfiction book of all time by the Guinness World Records, according to Forbes, and it's only the beginning of his book contract. Number 9, after effects of memoir. From headlines to word of mouth, we all think we know Harry and Meghan's true story. But there's one book that takes longtime royal fans even more in depth, revealing stories about the couple we only thought we knew. Finding Freedom, Harry and Meghan details the couple's romance, wedding, the birth of their first child, and their decision to take a step back from royal duties. Authors Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand take us far beyond the picture-perfect moments to the tough decision this couple has had to make in order to preserve their relationship and happiness. And with that book, longtime royal fans may learn more about Harry and Meghan's new path outside of the royal family. Frustrated Meghan Markle is said to blame the damning royal revelations in Prince Harry's Spare memoir for the couple's plunging popularity, according to a source. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were on a roll until the book came out at the start of the year. It detailed a physical scrap with William and saw Harry brand Queen Camilla as dangerous. At the time, it was reported that Meghan had reservations about the book, and now a source close to the couple has told Heat magazine that she is kicking herself for not being more hands-on. After the humiliating cancellation of the couple's Spotify podcast contract and rumors of a lucrative deal with Dior falling flat, she appears to be placing the blame squarely at her husband's feet for going after his family the way that he did. Number 8, proposal over roast chicken. Meghan claimed that the engagement happened during an average night at Nottingham's cottage where the couple was living at the time. She was cooking roast chicken when Harry popped the question. It was just an amazing surprise. It was so sweet and natural and very romantic, she gushed. He got on one knee. As a matter of fact, I could barely let him finish proposing. I was like, can I say yes now? Kensington Palace admitted that at the time of the engagement announcement, the engagement had previously occurred. His Royal Highness and Miss Markle became engaged in London earlier this month. Harry has informed Her Majesty the Queen and other close members of his family. It said Prince Harry has also sought and received the blessing of Miss Markle's parents. Number 7, her big launch. According to Lowe, the reason why the couple didn't announce their engagement earlier was that they wanted it to become a secret. However, everyone in the royal family knew about it. The interview was, in effect, Meghan's big launch, she says. The couple were not officially engaged, though everyone in Kensington Palace knew they had been privately engaged since the late summer. But this was Meghan putting herself out there in a confident, proactive way. Number 6, explosive revelations. In Harry's new book Spare, ghostwritten by J.R. Moringer, the Duke of Sussex makes a number of explosive revelations and accusations about his family, in particular about his older brother William. Harry also gave insight into what life was like as a member of the royal family, such as the clothing allowance they all receive and how some members refrain from physical affection. Harry explores the relationship between the royal family and the tabloid media and describes how the royals each have a vested interest in who has made the front cover of each paper. As a result, newspapers are laid out in pretty much every single palace, he explains. Number 5, zero tolerance on physical contact. Harry describes how, as a royal, they were taught to ensure there was a buffer zone between them and the rest of creation. This filtered its way into the firm itself, as there was distance within the family itself as well. He writes, no matter how much you might love someone, you could never cross that chasm between, say, monarch and child or heir and spare, physically but also emotionally. The older generation, he explains, maintained a nearly zero tolerance prohibition on physical contact. with there being only light touching of cheeks on special occasions. In fact, he says there were no hugs, kisses, or pats. Harry added that he couldn't imagine any circumstance under which he could hug the Queen. He felt frustrated by the fact that he had no control over the way he was treated and reveals how much of his self-worth was dependent on him being able to perform for the public. He writes, "My deepest fear was that there would be no escape from this cycle and that I'd just find myself back in my original cage, even if it was a slightly larger one." Harry also talks about the lack of thank yous he often experienced from the family. Whilst working in LA and being involved in charity work, he said that there wasn't any recognition or thanks for what I did. He writes, "It was more like, we need you to do this, you must do it. There was no appreciation shown for the work and dedication I put into my job, both in my official role and through charity work." On to number 4, free for all at Christmas. Unlike most, the royal family opens their Christmas presents on Christmas Eve, keeping with the German tradition. Each family member stands by their mound of gifts before suddenly opening them all at the same time, pulling bows and tearing wrapping paper in what Harry described as a free-for-all. Although royal protocol and tradition has been instilled since birth, Harry confessed to being slightly nervous about the process and opening gifts in such a unique ceremonial fashion. For those who feel the same way during the holiday season, this story surely serves as a reminder that it's okay to break away from the rules sometimes. Harry himself admitted that Christmas is a time to be slightly rebellious and encouraged his readers to do so too, like swapping out the usual mince pies for something new. There are no shortages of recipes online to get creative with. On to number 3, teenage years. Harry talked about his teenage years spending hours playing the video game Halo under the username Bill and Baz. At their Highgrove residence, deep in the basement, there was once a bomb shelter. He and William spent many of their teenage years in Club H, which stood for Highgrove. The boys' lair was decked with a Persian rug, Moroccan sofas, an electric dartboard, stereo system, and well-stocked drinks and trolley. The brothers would invite around 15 friends around at a time for not-so-innocent drinking of rum or vodka, usually in tumblers, and snogging. Club H was Harry's place of escape, both for when he wanted to act out and for moments of solitude. He talks fondly of the days when he would take refuge in the bomb shelter and barely emerge for 3 days. It was a place where Harry could be himself, away from public scrutiny or royal responsibility. It was also an opportunity to express his creative side, taking on some unusual DIY projects. One such project was turning an old telephone booth into a bar, all done in secret. Of course. Harry brought the bar from an antique shop with the help of some friends, and then they spent hours fitting it out with neon lighting and leather seating. The pièce de résistance was a sign that read "Chez Harry" attached to the entrance, but as soon as palace staff saw it, they knew what the trio were up to and promptly removed it. On to number 2, Suits. Before they met Meghan, Harry claims William and Kate were huge fans of her show Suits and couldn't believe Harry when he told them he was dating a member of the cast. Willie and Kate explained that they were regular, nay, religious viewers of Suits, he wrote per page 6. "All this time I thought Willie and Kate might not welcome Meghan to the family, but now I have to worry about them hounding her for an autograph." When Harry finally got around to watching some of his wife's work for himself, however, he was less amused, writing that he made the mistake of Googling and watching some of her love scenes online. Harry admitted that he didn't need to see such things live. His reaction? Harry also revealed that he had been aware of his wife's engagement to Trevor Engelson for a while before they started dating, though he initially kept his distance. "I knew Meghan was engaged, but until she confirmed it herself, I had no idea who Trevor was," he wrote, adding that they maintained a respectful distance for some time following her engagement. Eventually, though, the former couple got to talking, and as Harry puts it, things quickly heated up. It wasn't long before our conversation turned from polite small talk into something much more interesting and meaningful, he wrote. "We soon became a part of each other's daily lives, and our friendship grew quickly from there." Harry also opened up about his thoughts on royal life and how that affected his relationship with Meghan, writing that in the early days of their romance he was protected by privilege, but I couldn't help but worry about the difference in our backgrounds would be an obstacle to our future happiness. But as he said, as we talked more, I began to realize that this wasn't just a fling, this was a powerful connection between souls. And finally, number 1, baths at Balmoral. An oddity of Balmoral Castle revealed in Harry's memoir was the water, which perturbed a number of guests. Many would raise the alarm as something appeared to be wrong with the water in the loo, which was brown and resembled a weak tea. However, Harry said his father would put the guests at ease with a smile, explaining that the water was both filtered and sweetened with Scottish peat. The Prince of Wales revealed that it was to give the water a light, heathery aroma as well as its unique color. Such an amazing anecdote has left readers in awe of Harry's father's witty personality and his ability to make light of any situation. But that is all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.